I was down at the beach earlier today with my mates, Talon and Lizzie. We were sprawled out on the sand, rubbing wax into our boards and sipping cold beers before paddling out. The sun blazed overhead, faint streaks of cloud melting toward the horizon, and the warmth of the sand seeped straight through my wetsuit, while the salty wind kept blowing hair into my eyes. I was staring out at the water when a blonde girl strutted by wearing something you'd barely call swimwear. As I took in all that lotion-slick skin, something strange caught my eye, a circular red mark on her left butt cheek, blood beading from small punctures around it. I called. She glanced back, wrinkled her nose in disgust. I pointed angrily, then realizing how creepy that must have looked. She scoffed, flipped me the bird, and kept going. I jogged after her. Wait, hold up, you've got a... She spun around like a firestorm, her American accent snapping at me. Listen, jerk. I didn't fly halfway across the planet to get catcalled by some crusty loser. I faltered. But you piss off, creep. I want to get back in the water. Leave me alone. I stood there dumbly as she walked away, blood still trickling down her tanned leg. I trudged back to Talon and Lizzie, who were losing their minds laughing. She totally fancies you, urine. Talon barked. Worst she could say is no, right? Lizzie snorted. You two didn't see it. Oh, we saw everything. Talon grinned. Painful. I didn't even know she was American. But didn't you see she was bleeding from her backside? I muttered. You can't say that. Talon nearly spat his beer out. Oh no, poor thing. No one ever taught him, Lizzie teased. It wasn't like that. Something bit her. I was trying to help. Yeah, sure. Whatever helps you flirt with tourists, Talon said. I groaned and kept waxing. Talon stood, laughing too hard, gonna piss myself. Don't fall in. Lizzie smacked his ass and said something filthy enough that a group of Americans turned to stare. Those two had their weird on and off thing. But lately it seemed like they were stabilizing, graduation coming up and all. Talon had even mentioned buying her a ring. About time he manned up. You know we're just teasing, Lizzie said softly. Yeah, whatever, I muttered, eyeing the American girls farther down. There's a girl for you out there. Maybe stick with Aussies, she giggled. I know, but my mind was still stuck on that wound. We waited for Talon. He took forever. When he finally returned, he was walking funny, like his wetsuit didn't fit. Why are you waddling? Got a stiffy? I asked. Rack off, he muttered. What took you? Had to take a dump. Toilet was bloody awful. Leg fell asleep. Anyway, let's surf. We reached the water when a woman farther down suddenly screamed. My son. He's caught in the rip. Someone help. A little boy, maybe 7, bobbed in the waves, struggling as the current dragged him out. Boards dropped. We sprinted into the surf. Cold water slapped into me, but years of surfing kicked in. I dove under a swell and powered toward him. He thrashed, choking, vanishing beneath each wave. The rip dragged him and me outward. I lunged, his fingertips brushing mine before he slipped under. I dove, grabbed his waist, and kicked up to the surface. I've got you, I panted as he kicked and coughed. Lizzie and Talon reached us, and together we fought against the rip, inching back to the shallows. By the time we reached sand, 2 lifeguards and a crowd had gathered. They pulled the boy away, checking him. Looks like you scraped on a rock, one lifeguard said, pressing a towel to his rear. His swimmers were ripped open in a perfect circle, blood soaking through. You all right, champ? Nearly shark biscuits, I joked. The boy stared blankly. I want to go back in the water, he whispered. You're done for today, buddy, the guard chuckled. They carried him to the quad bike. One guard turned to us. Good save. Almost the second one today. We good to surf? Talon asked. Yeah, go enjoy yourselves. We paddled out. The surf was clean, the breeze perfect. All the stress of uni, family, money, it all vanished on a board. It always did. It felt like the world couldn't touch us, until something bumped my board. I looked down. A massive great white for meters at least glided under me, tail nicking the board, dorsal fin rising like a knife. Cleaner fish drifted behind it. My muscles froze. Then it turned, heading straight for Talon and Lizzie. "Talon! Shark!" I shouted, miming a fin. He turned, saw it, went pale, and started paddling like hell. I splashed, yelled, trying to draw it to me. Then something tugged my board. Two hammerheads circled below. Lizzie screamed. Talon shouted. Then I heard a sickening crack and Talon's agonized cry. A bloom of red unfurled behind him, thick, heavy, drifting through the water like smoke. I paddled harder, reaching them fast. Talon was half conscious, Lizzie frantic. As I reached them, I yelled, "Lizzie, go!" We synchronized strokes, catching a forming wave. I kicked furiously, waiting every second for something to bite my legs. The blood cloud swirled around us like bait. The wave carried us to shallow water. We dragged Talon onto the beach. His scream tore out as his legs scraped the sand. The wound was horrific, a perfect curved bite, a massive chunk of thigh missing. Blood streamed across the sand. "Get his wetsuit off," I said. "Tourniquet." We ripped it open. At least he had swimmers, though they were torn open by another circular bite. I tied off a tourniquet using the wetsuit arm, pulling tight. Talon screamed and rolled, Lizzie sobbing as she held him. Another ring of punctures bled steadily from higher up his leg, a smaller bite. Lifeguards rushed in with a first aid kit and a stretcher. They replaced the tourniquet. As we carried him, Talon whispered my name. "Yeah, mate?" I leaned down. He stared at me. "I want to go back in the water." "You're gonna be fine," I lied. "Only one can ride with him," the guard told us. Tears streamed down me and Lizzie both. "You go," I told her. "Keep talking to him. I'll bring the car." She hugged me and climbed in. The ute sprayed sand as it sped away. I grabbed our boards. The sand felt scorching, the waves too loud, the gulls cruel. People were staring at the ocean, terrified. At the bathroom, I sank onto the toilet, face in my hands, trying to stop shaking. Then a sharp pinch bit through my wetsuit. I jumped up and turned. In the toilet bowl, circling calmly, was a small black fish, palm-sized, tiny dorsal fin sticking out, two black eyes. When it dipped and rose again, I saw it had no jaw, just a circular ring of rotating teeth, lamprey-like. It leapt a few centimeters, as if teasing me. Horror filled my chest. I bolted out, but my left leg was already going numb. I stumbled into the sunlight and into someone waiting in line. The American girl. "I'm sorry about earlier," I stuttered. But she wasn't looking at me. She stared past me. Screams echoed from the shore. People were gathered at the waterline, pointing, yelling. The ocean surface was covered in dorsal fins. Hundreds, maybe thousands. The entire coastline churned like a monstrous blender. The American girl sprinted past me, toward the surf. On her skin where the bite mark had been, that same tiny black fish clung to her like a parasite. She hit the water and instantly exploded into a cloud of red as countless sharks launched onto her. Others with the same circular wounds ran silently into the ocean, faces blank, as if compelled. They were torn apart in seconds. Family members who tried to save them were shredded too. The waves turned red, sand soaking into crimson, bits of flesh floating like debris. I ran, got into my car, drove into the outback. Lizzie's been calling all day. I can't answer, because I know the truth now, because every minute that numbness spreads, and I feel the same pull they felt. I want to go back in the water,